Thank you, Madam President. I also would like to pay homage to the great senator from San Francisco and the great work that he's done in the state of California. In now 25 years of being an elected official, I can't think of anybody that I've served with that has been more professional, more courteous, and is representative of the collegiate body that this Senate aspires to be. Thank you, Senator. I appreciate you. I appreciate your service. We don't always agree on things, but you always keep things apersonal. You stick to the issues, and it's just been an honor to serve with you, and I regret that I won't have more years of service with you. So, my friends, one of the most important responsibilities that we have as elected officials is to pass our budget and to have a sustainable finance system for the state of California. And I'm concerned that as we take in more money in the state of California, and this year, a record $122.5 billion is being spent. It's because our revenues have increased by ways in which we may not see those increases in the future. I know that there are many of you that would like to see the extension of Prop 30, and we'll see that on the ballot. And the state will try to make the argument, as we're doing better, that we need to extend this tax. And my concern is that if the voters don't approve that tax, that we are going to be putting ourselves in fiscal harm's way. Not only do I see it this way, but according to Moody's, California is the least capable of enduring a potential recession in the next 2 years when compared to other states like Texas and Florida and New York. The Mercatus Center at George Mason University has ranked California 44th for fiscal strength, citing our heavy reliance on debt financing, which is a great concern of my senator friend from Orange County. This budget does a lot of wonderful things. I'm not one that just looks at the glass half empty or half full. I just like to look at it comprehensively. I like the fact that it includes $2 billion that's going to go into our rainy day fund. I like the fact that we've strengthened K-12 schools and higher education, but unfortunately, it puts us on a collision course for future deficits. Governor Brown, his administration even projected a deficit in 2019-20 of $4.1 billion. I'm concerned that many of you that were here when we had a budget crash in 2008, 2009, and had to slash so many important programs important to many of you, that we're either going to be seeing those days or many will be crying for yet more taxes in a state that sees more taxes and imposes more taxes on its residents than any other state. The minimum wage is going to be another issue, which was voted by this House, by this Assembly, signed by the governor, but we all know that that's going to be a $4 billion hit between now and 2022. Not to mention that we as a state have to begin paying for our fair share of the Affordable Health Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare, in 2017. A few concerns. I'm concerned that we're willing to spend $1.3 billion on a few buildings here in Sacramento at a time when the California Transportation Commission has said they're not going to spend $700 million on infrastructure. Will $700 million infrastructure solve our infrastructure problems in the state of California? I think we all know no. We have about a $57 billion need, but I think the $1.3 billion for office space here in Sacramento would be a great down payment and would be very symbolic to our citizens that we're addressing the infrastructure deficiencies that we have in our wonderful state. I also think that we've done a good job in keeping our promise to many people that need our services, but we have not gone all the way. I'm very concerned about DentalCal. It is rough when you have a toothache, you have an abscess, and you can't go see a dentist. We had recommended $200 million to fix a broken dental care system that unfortunately was omitted from the budget. My friends, one issue that you're going to hear from pharmacies in your respective districts, especially those of you that serve in urban areas, that there was a federal mandate that reduced ingredient costs for pharmacies. In many cases, traditional pharmacies that are going to get reimbursed less than they have to pay for those drugs. Now, the way that other states are responding to this is that they're increasing their dispensing fees because they've got contemporary studies showing what the true costs are of providing that service. Unfortunately, the state of California has not done a study since 2007. One is underway, but it's not going to come to fruition until April of 2017, which means many of our local pharmacies are independent pharmacies, many of which have been handed over from generation to generation that serve the underserved, our Medi-Cal patients, will be at risk of closing their doors. And then eyeglasses, optometry services, making sure that people have the ability to get in their cars and drive to work or be able to use their glasses to get jobs, providing one pair of glasses every 2 years. These are essential services that our struggling Californians certainly need. And then also, I think that some of the fees that are increased in this budget disproportionately hurt the people that we're trying to help the most, the lower income people. Vehicle registration fees are going up 23%, from $43 to $53. Maybe $10 is not enough, not a lot of money to you or I, but for some people that live paycheck to paycheck, $10 can buy a few gallons of milk. It raises $140 million in fees on cell phones, not to provide emergency cell phones for the indigent and those that are low income, but it gives them texting and data plans far beyond the scope of what that was supposed to do. And then, of course, one of the biggest boondoggles in the state that we all know is the governor's idea is this, what we call the train to nowhere, where after this year's budget, we will be at $1.7 billion. That's $930 million over the current year spending. And lastly, my friends, we have a lot of debt, as my good friend from Orange County mentioned. We should be taking some of this excess revenue that we're very fortunate to get these days, and we should be paying down more of our debt that's estimated to be $330 billion. So my friends, I regretfully appreciate all the hard work that's gone into this budget. It's difficult to vote for some of these trailer bills because there's good things in them and there's bad things in them. So it's a difficult vote for all of us to have to take. But I also want to take this opportunity and thank the chairwoman of Budget Sub 3, the great senator from Los Angeles. It has been an honor over the past 2 years to serve with you. You have been such an inspiration, and you've taught me so much about social services in the state of California with your wonderful historical background and passion for helping people, which is very contagious. And also the great senator from Santa Cruz, you're a gentleman, sir. It's an honor to serve with you. And unfortunately today I can't support the budget, but it's an honor to serve with each and every one of you. And I know that you all care about people, and we all have different viewpoints on how we get there, but it's an honor to know each and every one of you and to serve with you.